All right. Welcome, everybody, to the next episode of Tulsa Life Podcast. We are with the beautiful Haley Kuker today.
Thank you.
And
It's good to be here.
we're so happy that you're here.
Thank you.
So Haley is actually one of our newest team members. You've been with us now for a couple of months, and it's been a ride already, right?
So good. Yes. Amazing. Amazing.
So we wanted to do kind of an agent spotlight today. We don't always talk about on the podcast. We don't always talk about our brokerage. Usually in some way or another, we always come around to it and talk about real estate some way. But our Tulsa Life podcast is really more about like everything that's going on in Tulsa and different things that, are happening. But I think a big part of that is always like the market, real estate market. And that always comes kind of back to our team. So let me just start off by saying what an amazing addition you have been to the Catron team and how grateful we are, to have you a part of our team.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It has been a game changer for me in real estate. Like just being part of this team has given me so much opportunity and so much training and just the gratitude. It's a great environment to be in. I'm so thankful.
Well, we're thankful for you too. So let me ask you a couple of questions. Okay, so you've been in real estate now for over a year.
Yes.
And you were at a brokerage before this. Tell me the biggest difference, because I think that, if there's people that, and there are people that listen to our podcast that are in real estate, they're in the industry. We have a lot of people that will listen to that they may not be a real estate agent, but a professional in our world. So what maybe is the one thing that you feel like is different that you weren't expecting necessarily, that I think I'll lead you a little bit. I would say I always think about brokerages and I kind of compare them to like churches. And when you're in a church and you go to church and then you go to a different church and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wow, like this is so different. And I didn't know that I was going to like it or not like it. So what is something that you have? You can even say something that you haven't liked, but what is the biggest difference that you've felt coming from a different brokerage into this environment?
Okay. So I got my license probably it's been almost the year mark because I think it was the very last week of July last year.
Okay.
Went into teaching also when I started, and I had one transaction the whole time I was there until
Which isn't unusual.
Well,
honestly.
I know I'm learning that now. Yeah. I mean, but it was going to be, you're paying more in your dues and everything to keep your license active. And so I was just kind of at a crossroads, like, when I came to you, like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep doing real estate because I'm paying more in dues. And so when you and I talked and, you were able to tell me kind of about the lead generation and the different opportunities that Catron and Company has versus some other brokerages, I was like, okay, I'm listening, I hear it. But, until you're actually here as an agent and you have those opportunities, you don't realize how different this brokerage is. I mean, it is 100 times different than any agency I've ever met. And I've kind of gotten real close and worked with different agencies, different ways. My family has a brokerage down in Texas.
Right.
Even.
Yeah. Your background is real estate.
Yeah. And it's kind of more old school, just mom and pop, type of brokerage. And so this opportunity, like my first month with being here with you and the team, I had 3 transactions.
Which is amazing.
And that was coming from my sphere. But as I got the training for Zillow, I got the FirePoint, all the different software and the leads that we get. I now already have 2 under contract for this next month and a third one hopefully today.
That is amazing.
So all of that comes from the opportunities that you have here. I mean, training alone.
So I love it today. We were talking about in our morning meeting, and I think outside looking in for me, I think one of the biggest differences I see in our brokerage compared to some other brokerage, which isn't necessarily a good or bad thing, is how much structure we have and accountability. Mm-hmm. And so our morning meetings, we have 3 morning meetings a week, which in other brokerages, I've been at one other brokerage in Tulsa before we started Erin, Catron and Company, and there weren't meetings that you come together as a team and meet for, which isn't good or bad. Again, this is just the differences. But today in our morning meeting, we were talking about role playing and scripts and role play and how, we want to continue to offer as much as we possibly can to our agents to equip them.
Mhm.
And one of the things that we were talking about this week is we were like, should we go to every other week of role playing instead of every Wednesday? Because we have so many things going on for our agents and with our agents that we don't want to bog them down so much that there's so many meetings or team events, because we do a lot together
And
as a team.
yeah, the role playing is really what kind of, I feel like, helped me go from just feeling like a real estate agent that was probably showing homes to buyers kind of in an apologetic way. Like, oh, I don't want to, be in your way. Oh, kind of like that tiptoe. Whereas when I've done the training and the role play, I've learned, okay, no, I'm the real estate professional here. I'm the one that has the knowledge, the expertise, the information. And so I feel like just through a month and a half of training and listening, sitting in on the role playing and everything, I've been able to feel so much more confident
I love
that
that.
I know what to say. I know how to articulate what needs to be done and execute
Which
it.
I would also tell you that you have done an exceptional job of taking that direction and actually applying it, because, there's other agents that can be in the exact same environment. And if they listen to it, but they don't actually implement it, it doesn't make a difference. So you've done an incredible job.
Thanks. Oh, thank
It,
you.
it excites me so much because I can see the growth that you've already had in just the short time that you've been here. And I'm like, you are a rock star. Like,
Well, thank you. I feel super humbled, honestly. Like, I feel very, very humbled. And I'm trying to recruit friends that are just in the industry that are struggling right now. They're just like, wow, you have too many leads. Like, you can't keep up. And I'm like, yeah. Like, I couldn't answer the phone yesterday, like about 5 times because I was already with clients. And one of the homes I closed on this last Friday, I was talking to the seller's agent, and she said, I had told her, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm just getting back to you. It's been a really crazy day. And she was like, wow. She was like, that's so unusual to hear from agents right now. And I just thought, I am very fortunate and very blessed to have found Erin Catron and Company and be able to be a part of this. And so
wow.
I do try to put the word out to anyone that's in the industry that wants to stay and be an agent that's struggling.
So would you say, so let's, if there's anybody that is listening to this and watching this, we love agents. We love all agents. And I think that's one thing too, that our brokerage really wants to be great colleagues, regardless of what, brokerage any agent might be at. We want to be a great colleague and work really well with them. But I would also say that there are a lot of agents out there that probably feel in that same place that you were, that hadn't done as much business as they'd hoped. It's costing them more money
Mhm.
than what they, had thought it would, and they're not making money. It's costing them money. And one thing that I think that I'm just going to kind of get this out here, in our world, it is 100% commission based. So if you're not familiar with how, we get paid, we don't get paid unless we actually help somebody buy or sell a home.
Mhm.
And so we can put a lot of work into clients, and if that doesn't come to fruition, then it's done is cost us time, money, resources,
Mhm.
uh, you name it. And emotionally, it's really tough. And so I also feel like there are a lot of real estate agents out there that are very discouraged, that haven't been able to find the right fit, that haven't been able to connect with the right clients. And one of the things that I always tell people too, in a very transparent way, is that our brokerage, and you came from a brokerage that you made a much higher split.
Mhm.
So
I did.
your split at the brokerage that you were at, and when I say splits, we're talking about commission. When you get paid commission, what you retain on your side compared to what the brokerage retains,
Mhm.
you retained a whole lot more
Mhm.
over here at your previous brokerage. However, you made less money
Mhm.
because of the amount of opportunity that you did not have.
Mhm.
And so this is kind of the age old thing of agents all the time that are going, well, if I join this brokerage and the splits are higher compared to if I join this brokerage and the splits are lower for me, what you really have to weigh that against is, what are you getting? What is that
Yeah.
brokerage giving you in return for what they retain and the amount of splits? So I'm gonna ask this question, and I'm gonna pray that it's the answer that I'm hoping that it is. Or this is gonna look really silly, and I'm gonna tell Philip you can't publish this. No, but for the amount that you get to retain of your commission, is the value there compared to what you were making or what you made or didn't make at your previous brokerage, do you feel like you are getting a good value of those splits?
100%.
Oh,
And
good. Okay, folks. Woo.
no,
Okay.
100%. And I will say, when I sat down and talked with you, that was one of the things that you and I had talked about. And you said, hey, I've got a lower commission split, but I'm going to be offering you so many leads that it will definitely make up for that difference. And you're right. Like, already, just since I've been here, I've definitely already made back more. Like, this is how I explain it to other friends that are other brokerages, because that is one of the selling points of other brokerages is like, well, come to us because our commission splits are higher. But if you don't have any clients coming in and you're not going under contract,
100% of zero is still zero.
Yes, exactly. So I would rather have a lower commission split and have leads handed to me. Literally, they're being handed to me. And it's up to me at that point what I do with that lead. I can, as an agent, take that lead and roll with it and, find them a home to buy or help list their home, or I can just do nothing with it. So again, it is 100% up to the agent. But when you're at Erin Kuker and Company and I get those leads, I want to go. I want to roll with it.
And you do a fantastic job. The other thing that I think I always want to tell people too, so if you are in a position that you're listening to this and you're going, okay, but if I take less of a commission split, one of the things that I've always said is that we have a partnership here. Mm-hmm. Like, our success is directly tied into your success, because the brokerage doesn't make money because we spend so much money in the training. We spend so much money on our systems. We spend so much money on marketing, lead generation, marketing for our listings, branding, you name it. We want to make sure that the burden of the money invested is on the brokerage, not the agent. Mm-hmm. And so I also think that there's a huge advantage there, that it's not just the leads that you're getting, but it's knowing how to use the systems that we have in place to be able to follow up correctly with those leads, to follow up correctly with the clients that, that need your help, and then to equip you and educate you in a way that is not, and there is nothing bad about continuing education. Continuing education is great. And agents will come in all the time and they'll ask, well, what do you do for continuing ed for CE? And what are you doing for like the hours that we need to get? I am so different, and all the brokers in this area are going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's going to say this. The best continuing education that I believe that you can get is by helping clients in the current market. Mm-hmm. And if you know how to help a client in the market as it changes, that is better than anything that you're reading out of a book that was written 10 to 15 years ago that's teaching you the curriculum and the principles, because it's a textbook. It is an online exam. It is that continuing education that we have to continue to do to keep our license active, and we do. But that is not the main focus of what I want to be teaching our agents.
And that's true. Every client, it's a different problem you're solving. And that's what I've heard. Real estate agents, we're problem solvers.
That's exactly right. And counselors.
Doing. Yes. And we wear many hats.
Yes, we do. But but that is the best thing that I can hope to do for our agents, is to give them the tools that they need and the education that they need for real life experiences.
And I feel like that's exactly what I have experienced just in the short time that I've been here.
Good.
Is through everything like that, is just, I feel very prepared now going to meet with new buyers that I've never met before. I feel the confidence of knowing, what to say to them, how to kind of guide and direct them through the process. So
the confidence that you've gained in the last month compared to the confidence that you had over the last year is exponentially, how do you say that word? Yeah. Exponentially more in this short amount of time. So what did you tell your daughter last night? I really, I got a kick out of this when you told me what you were talking to Lucy about.
I was on Zillow calls yesterday, so it was very busy Sunday. I started at I think the first call came in at 8:13 a.m. I showed clients properties all day, submitted an offer. I was writing up the contract last night. And then I had to go in and work on some of my software, getting some stuff ready for my transaction coordinator till about 12:45 a.m. And my daughter, she was like, Mom, she was like, you're working so much. And I said, well, look at it this perspective, because I came from teaching first grade the last few years, and I'm not going back to teaching this year due to being able to
go full time,
successful, being full time as an agent. But I said to her, in one day, if this offer is fully executed, I will have made one and a half months worth of teaching salary in 1 day of work.
That's amazing.
And that's only if I have that one go through. I could have the other leads want to submit an offer too. So it would be, a couple months worth of teaching salary.
That's incredible. But that's also you taking the initiative, taking advantage of everything that we're trying to give to our agents. And we're just so happy to have you on the team. So
Thank you.
if you don't hear anything other than this from this entire podcast, is that you're amazing. And we are so grateful to have you and our team. And we talked about this morning in our meeting today, is that don't we just have an amazing team?
We have an amazing team. And I think that's the other selling point to me trying to tell friends that are real estate agents is just come and sit in on a meeting.
Yeah.
It is the way that you start the meetings with gratitude. I love that. It's just a positive note. Coming to the meetings are a delight, I feel like, for all the agents. We love the accountability.
We had a dead week. This summer we decided we were going to go a whole week without having meetings, and then we ended up calling it Sad Week.
Yeah,
because
everyone
was just
missed
sad.
each other.
I was like, oh my gosh, there's no meeting.
Yeah.
And I think it's a place that you can come and be encouraged and uplifted. And, real estate is hard.
Yeah. And if you're dealing with difficult clients, you can at least vent to someone that gets it and they can be like, I've been there too.
Right.
I know it's hard.
And clients are difficult because they're going through a hard time.
They're stressed out.
It's stressful.
Yeah.
And
the biggest
that's where
thing you can do is move.
That's right.
Yeah.
And buying and selling is right up there, in the most stressful things in your life.
It really is.
And so being able to be somebody that's a soundboard for our clients and that we can stay encouraged by our team is so important.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Haley, thank you so much for coming on today. I kind of sprung this on you. I was like, hey, you got to come on the podcast. You're amazing and you're doing so great that
I appreciate you having me on.
You bet. It's been fun and we're so glad to have you part of our team. And like you said, if you're in the real estate world and, you need to be encouraged or you're trying to figure out like navigating, what are you going to do? Are you going to stay in the business? Come check us out because we would really love to talk to you and encourage you. And even if it's not a great fit for you, we could still, help you and encourage you to be able to make it through because it can be tough out there. So thanks for listening. Didn't that go by really fast?
It did. It went by fast.
I told you it would.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
You bet. All right. We'll catch you next time.